3, 2, 1. Hello there. Welcome to tonight's not really planned ahead of live stream. Okay, so the goal today is to figure out how to write an API that will basically allow us to create custom actions for ChatGPT, for the custom GPTs. And we'll use ValTown for that. I did something like that previously, but I figured I'll revise that because I need to get some up-to-date material for making a video about that for YouTube. And I also want to write a blog post, so this is kind of gathering materials. So let's look at ChatGPT first. Let's get rid of a few things before I show the screen. Okay, there we go. So, in ChatGPT, we can basically explore GPTs and create our own, okay? And besides, all the basic stuff like description, instructions and stuff, there's a thing called actions on the bottom left. We can create a new action. And what it is, basically, it's you need to provide it with open API schema for your API endpoint, like HTTP REST API. And your GPT, your custom GPT, will be able to call those endpoints to pass some information to and receive some information from them. So, basically you need to have an API written to your stuff. You need to have the schema for it, and you actually need to host it so that ChatGPT can actually reach it. So it needs to be open. And hopefully it will be nice to also have some kind of authentication so that you're not getting bombarded or whatever. Depends on the API, of course. And you can use some existing stuff, but most of the time you want to use your own, or you want to, like normal API usage is a bit too complicated for AI to really deal with well. So you would probably prefer to write your own wrapper around it to have it work a little bit better, easier, abstract some things away. Maybe, you don't really want your ChatGPT to know, user ID or several other extra things that you wouldn't want to. So the goal is to create that API. And for that, I would like to use ValTown. I have it here. This is already some existing stuff in ValTown. But what is ValTown? Can I get to their main page? I cannot. Let me see if the browser has incognito or something. New incognito window. There we go. Let's do val.town. Okay. So this is ValTown. You can imagine if GitHub, GIST, or GIST, whatever, could run an AWS Lambda was fun. ValTown is a social website to write and deploy TypeScript, build APIs, and schedule functions from your browser. So that's basically what ValTown is. You can write your own code right there in the browser, and it's instantly hosted, instantly. So you can make it HTTP, so like endpoints. You can make things that run on a schedule, things that will respond to your emails, or write just scripts that will do something when you click run. And they can be publicly hosted, either on ValTown URL, or you can even provide your own domains, which is cool. Yep, 100 milliseconds and it's deployed. Bam. You can use more than JavaScript. TypeScript. You have built-in blob storage, SQLite storage, and a bunch of other services already built in. And there's a whole community making it use even easier. Yeah, they have various suggestions. I don't know that improved. I haven't used it in a few months. And yeah, you can even preview everything. So you can do a lot with that. It's a really amazing service. So I won't be just explaining the whole ValTown too much. Maybe we'll just jump into what it actually is and how we can use it. So I was here in a folder. I have a folder API framework because some time ago I was actually making my own, actions, whatever APIs for actions for custom GPTs. I, for example, added like a memory to a GPT, before now we have actual memory included, but, I was doing that. You can actually guide the whole GPT through multi-step process. You can do a lot. So yeah, it's a fun thing. So basically, I created something called GPT API framework. I don't know if it's large enough to see. So this allows for automatic generation of Hono API. Hono API is just, like Express.js or some other tiny little API frameworks. Compatible. Look at that, I have typo. Compatible. And let's save it. Just like that, we updated README. And this is public, so everyone can view it. You can just search for GPT API framework, and that will be my thing right there. So yeah, compatible with GPTs. So those endpoints, inputs and outputs need to be specified via types, which then the OpenAPI spec is generated automatically and available via GPT/schema endpoint. So this framework, you can specify various endpoints, which will be basically your actions, that the endpoints that your actions can reach out to. And this will also automatically, whenever you get to that address, it will automatically generate an OpenAPI schema that is compatible with ChatGPT. So, multiple things at once. For example, let's just go through a simple example so that I can refresh it for myself, because I haven't done that in a while. When is the last change? Version 15, January, yeah, beginning of the year. So, yeah, I haven't touched it in 4 months. 5 months? 4 months? Whatever. 4 months, yeah. 5 minus 1 is 4. Alrighty. Let me just check a few things. It's all good here, all good. Cool. So, continuing. An example of how to use it. So, first of all, you import the GPT API from basically this here is actually a code. Actually, this code here that we wrote, that we have just as a it's called Val. You can just import it just like that. You can import all your own ones, all the public ones. You can just import them this way. You can even specify which version and whatnot, so you can just import it. In this case, it also requires to import the Zod, and here we're importing npm package. Everything here is running on Dino, but you can just use npm packages, no problem. So here we can specify, first of all, we want to specify types of objects that ChatGPT needs to know what kind of data and JSON sent to the API and what to expect as a response. okay? And when we need to describe that type that GPT needs to format the data into the JSON, and for that it uses basically that OpenAPI schema because it can contain various descriptions, okay? So here in this example, we create something called response command schema. So it'll be basically a schema for a response command. So this will be basically what ChatGPT is expecting to get back, okay? And we basically create the object, which means that, okay, we just have an object and it contains field feedback. It's gonna be a string, and its description is that, hey, this is a feedback regarding submitted actions. So in this example, basically ChatGPT can submit something and it will get back an object that contains feedback, command what to do next, and some additional data, okay? So basically here we have the whole description for the whole object. This actually contains feedback and further instructions to follow, okay? So feedback is a string, feedback regarding submitted action. Command is also a string, the command for the mediator AI to follow strictly. So this is for something I was developing, but basically that's what ChatGPT is supposed to do. It's like, you know, it's ChatGPT is gonna initiate that action, send some data to it, and as a response is gonna get another prompt. What are the further instructions? So this is pretty powerful. You can you know, decide in a, you know, with your code you can decide what exactly needs to happen. You can build the whole prompt or whatever, inject some info and just pass it back, like, hey, do this with that and that and that. And that's pretty powerful, like really powerful. And then data is some additional data related to the given command. Can be there, doesn't have to be, it's optional, okay? So using Zod, we're able to basically describe an object, okay? And then the actual response command, actual type that we'll be using, we just infer it from here. And that's it. We just have an object that works. And all that TypeScript craziness just works in Val Town, no problem. All this is TypeScript. So then what? We initialize our API, so we basically create a new GPT API. We pass it what the URL will be for it, okay? This is some example. That's, for example, what a URL for you know, your API running on ValTown could look like. We give it some title and description for that API and what version, all those basic things. And then we just specify one endpoint. So we basically create an endpoint, which is nothing to JSON. This is specific type of an endpoint that basically doesn't expect any data from ChatGPT, but will return JSON, okay? Because ChatGPT doesn't really need to send any data, it can also just trigger something, and we can make it pretend as if something else can read it or whatever. It can do different stuff. And therefore, the response command is what is gonna get returned. We make sure that it's a post request. The path for it will be the new problem. That's basically the resource. Operation ID, this is again, basically, I'm not sure now. But I think this is what the ChatGPT will see, and the new dash problem will be basically what it understands as the name of the action. Then we have description. It's an endpoint for informing overseer AI about new problem presented by the user. So in this case, the mediator AI is ChatGPT. Okay, it pretends to be some kind of mediator AI that mediates between the user and some other overseer AI. That's, you know, it doesn't exist, but we'll pretend it exists, so ChatGPT thinks it's some kind of overseer. So it's an endpoint to inform that pretend AI about a new problem presented by the user. Okay. Request schema and description is null because it's nothing to JSON, so it doesn't care about that. And then we have response schema, which will be, you know, what the one that we defined basically here. and response description. So the response will be instruction on how to proceed with the new problem, okay? And here we basically have the code that will be executed whenever the action happens. So there's lots of stuff around when we need to describe everything to ChatGPT, which kind of sucks. But you know, there's so much describing, but that really improves the quality of how ChatGPT works with that. And what we're doing here, we're basically straight up returning a new object, like, hey, user input don't load it, even though nothing was provided. Problem analysis is required, and then we just do get prompt, analyze problem, and in my case, you know, this could be some other function that, you know, returns the string to put into command and no data, and we just send it. And at the end, we just do export default API serve, and that's it. That's how you create your endpoint. As an example, of course. And this is the whole code for the framework that, you know, it generates the API and other stuff. But let's look at some actual example. What it is, get API schema builder. Oh yeah, that's just something that actually builds the schema. So there's some stuff here. We can look at some GPTs and maybe create one. This is a complex one. Let's skip that one. This one as well. GPT API. Oh, dialog chat endpoint, memory API. Example. Oh yeah, because I made a blog post on how to write it. You know what? Do I have something? GPT memory manager. This is again a little bit more complex one. Let's copy the code from an example from the API framework. Here we have this thing. Let's create Val, or oh no, I'll just make it by myself. So I'll copy the code, okay? And let's go to GPTs. Let's make a new folder. This will be tutorials. And here we can basically create a new Val, which will be a new chunk of code. And in our case, we want an HTTP handler. This way, when we click it, it just created that. It generated a random name, and it's set as HTTP, okay? And HTTP means that this will be available as an endpoint, as an API basically. Script is something that you can run by yourself, or is just code, nothing else. Interval is being executed at specific interval. An email is one that basically you can send an email kind of to your ValTown account, and it will magically trigger your specific Val. It's like you can send an email to it and you can get info out of that. So that's cool. So we have this chocolate child. Let's rename it to something like test GPT action. Okay. So let's paste our code here, okay? We have all that stuff, and it doesn't like that there's a get prompt. Let's just do, please analyze the problem, okay? We'll just have that here, just so we have something here. Okay. Sidebar. Oh, nope. I don't like that browser. I don't like the Arc browser on Windows, at least. Haven't tried on Mac, but kind of makes me upset sometimes. Okay. So we have our test action. Okay, I should be able to just click on it. It'll take me to like a whole bigger, more focused representation where we can write a README and everything. Let me pull up what I want to actually code here, okay? Because I have an idea for a GPT. Okay, so I'll copy and paste the idea into README, okay? Save it. So the idea for the GPT is, you know, let's create a GPT so that the user comes up with a fun idea for a video game. And then when the user submits the idea, the AI will submit it to the API, okay? So we'll submit it here to our action. And then that API will return a different idea from the pool of ideas that were already submitted to the API. And this makes this GPT kind of multiplayer, as you will likely get ideas for video games that other people submitted, okay? So this could be fun, in my opinion. So let's think how we want to do that. So we can go to our chat GPT, right? Let's call it, let's call this GPT something like Game Idea Exchange, okay? A GPT that you can use to exchange video game ideas with other people, okay? So instructions, what could we have as instructions, I wonder? So let's think how we want to structure this GPT. Instructions. I hate starting with that. Let's do something really dead simple. You act as a video game idea broker, whatever. Your role is to help user define a decent game video game idea, okay? And then allow the user to submit it, okay? Let's quote it. So let's do that. Submitting the idea, or let's call it the video game idea, okay? To submit the video game idea, there are two things needed. A well-structured or like at least 3-sentence idea for a video game. And then will be a name the user, the creator wants to be referred through. Okay, so this way we'll be able to send a name and the video game idea to the user. I mean, through the API. Okay, the video game idea has to be submitted using the, let's call it submit idea action. Okay, we'll just call it that way. And this here tells GPT that there is an action called submit idea, and it will search for it, and it will see the JSON definition that it needs to send data through, and that will make it basically, put data where it's supposed to be, and probably ask the user for the name. So a name the creator wants to ask for it. And 3-sentence idea. User needs to approve it first. Asking for submission is equal to approval, just to make it simple, okay? And let's say that this is enough for now, okay? We'll close it. And yeah, I'm going to for now create it, okay? Let's just use Dolly to create some random little icon. And while it's thinking about that, let's go back to our Val Town. So we know that we need this kind of input. So let's describe it. We'll use this here as our, as our template. So let's do something similar, okay? We'll just do it here. Constant. And this will be the idea submission schema, okay? Let's go to that. It'll be Z object, okay? And we'll describe this object first, okay? Describe. So what will be the idea submission schema? This will be contains the full game idea submission form. Well, let's call it that way. It's less, the shorter description is basically, the less tokens it takes up for ChatGPT. Welcome back, the Drunken Alcoholic. It's nice to see you return. The Drunk Alcoholic on YouTube says, as long as has guns and exploding heads, the game will be a success. Hopefully ChatGPT comes up with something original. So yeah, the idea is that for that GPT is, I don't know if you are watching, the idea for the GPT is so that the user comes up with a fun idea for a video game. When the user submits the idea, the AI will submit it to the API. Then the API will return a different idea from the pool of ideas already submitted to the API by other users, hopefully. So this makes this GPT kind of multiplayer, as you will likely get ideas for video games that other people submitted. So this is basically, I'm gathering material for writing a tutorial for, creating your own actions for custom GPTs. Because this is, something that people, maybe, many people think instantly, oh, I need to write a server, I need to do this and that and that. And with ValTown, we're just writing our API right here. We'll save and preview and it's running. So, and I'm using my own GPT API framework that will basically streamline it. So for now, we're defining the idea submission schema, what ChatGPT will be sending to our API. So we described it, it's a full game idea submission form, okay? And let's put that semicolon here. And we need to get the idea, okay? And this will be a string. And let's describe it as a game idea, a fun video game idea, needs to be at least 3 sentences long. Exclamation mark, okay? We'll just reiterate that and this will be in our generated schema. And then we also need the author. So this will be z.string. And again, describe a name of the author. Doesn't have to be real, okay? And that's it, okay? We have those two things that we need. And we just described it. So I'll get rid of this other one. And we'll do export type. And we'll call it idea submission. and we'll just infer it, z infer from our tab here. And this way, suddenly, we can already use this as just a regular type that we define normally. So this is awesome. So we'll initialize our API. In this case, we call the test GPT action. Let's actually rename it to maybe something else like a video game idea GPT. Okay, let's save that. And this way we can expect that this will be, my account is xconti, that's my username, so this will be probably video game idea GPT. And this is one important thing. For some reason, ChatGPT really doesn't like when you capitalize or put, some underscores on some other weird characters in the URL. It just freaks out and doesn't work, okay? So this should already point to our API, okay? If I'll save it, I probably can go down here and look at that. There's our URL. xconti-video game idea GPT, and that's it. So I can literally copy it. And let's just paste it so that I can make sure that I didn't make any mistakes. Looks the same. Title will be the video game idea API. Okay. Description of the API for submitting fun video game ideas. Okay. Version 1.0. So that's all we need to do to kind of initialize our API. This way we have the API object to which we can start inputting our data. Okay. So this was some examples. So let's make our own. Let's just make a little thingy here, which will be, let's call it, what can we call it? Video game submission endpoint. Okay. Of that, and let's do API dot. And we have few things defined right now. I mean, I have only two types of endpoints defined right now. Either nothing to JSON, which is that we receive nothing from ChatGPT. We just receive that, oh, there's the endpoint was called and that's it. And we return JSON. Or in our case, we want to receive JSON from ChatGPT, do something with it, and return a response to it, okay? So JSON to JSON. And I need to look it up. JSON to JSON. It's a method. It takes T request type and T response. Okay, so T request will be basically our idea submission. Okay, and we also need to do idea response. That's something we haven't described yet, so we'll just do this and we'll get back to it in a second. Okay, so let's define our idea response. Constant idea response schema. Okay, so we'll do the same object. We'll describe it. What will be a different video game idea. Returned in exchange for submitting one. Okay, and that will be that. So that's cool. And well, we need basically the same thing, idea and author. So a fun video game idea. Okay. And why do I have dots? Here, let's leave dots. Here we won't have to probably. So here will be a name of the author who came up with the idea. Okay. So this will be what we'll be returning. Basically the same thing. But because one is request, one is response, and therefore they're being used in a little bit different context, we want to give that different context to the GPT. Okay? Because for us it's obvious, for GPT not entirely. So wherever we can help it out, it's good. And we want to do the same thing. We want to make an actual type out of that. So be idea response and idea response schema. Okay. So we have idea submission and response and our API defined. We just need to do a verb. A verb will be post. Okay. We'll post it. Path. Path will be our resource. So this will be submission. Okay. Operation ID. So operation ID is what we define in our GPT. Okay. Where is it here? Okay. Wow, it generates the worst thumbnails ever. So we called it submit idea. Okay, so let's copy it. I'm gonna actually create the GPT for now just with a link. And I'll just create it so that, you know, in case page reloads, we don't lose anything. And we go back here. So we define this will be submit idea, the operation ID, the way that ChatGPT refers to it. And then what else? Description. Okay, so be endpoint for submitting fun video game ideas. Okay, as simple as that. And the next is request schema. Okay, so here we have to manually basically provide that there's a idea request schema. Okay. And description for it. Request description. This is another thing that Open API schema requires. So this will be basically fun video game idea submission form. Okay. And then we have also response schema, which will be idea. Oh, this is response. This is the submission. There we go. We respond with a response and response description will be a video game idea returned in exchange whatever for the submitted one. Okay, whatever, it's good enough. So what's next? We have this and that, so that's actually enough of describing everything. Now the next argument of that function is basically the code. So this will be an async function that receives context. Context is basically the request context, and from that context we'll be able to extract, you know, the actual requests and a bunch of other stuff. Okay, so we just define it here, and we just need to do something. At the end we'll be returning, so we need to do return, and we basically need to define. It already knows that it's author and idea because it knows that we return idea response. Okay, so in this case will be yeah, idea, whatever. We'll get it from somewhere, and then the author, nobody. Okay, so we just saved it. When you save it, I actually just automatically click Ctrl S to save it. ValTown will actually reformat your code. So I'll just quickly get rid of this one that we don't use anymore. And we have our API serve here, and that's it. Okay. So what we can do is save and preview. Okay. And we should be able to go here, GPT/schema, enter. And there it is. There's our whole schema that is generated for our action that contains all the descriptions. So I'll just copy it. I'll go to our GPT. Let's just get rid of this one. Here, to our GPT, and I can do create new action. No authentication right now. We don't worry about that. We just paste in the schema. Okay. This thinks for a second and found name, submit idea. Just post, path, submission, and that's it. Okay. We won't worry about privacy policy yet. That's something for later. I also have some code that generates some generic stuff for you. And yeah, we can go back and let's just click update. And sure, not yet. So basically, let's try it out. I have an idea for a video game. It's something like RimWorld, okay? But the player is, but the view is from the first person perspective. Period. The player needs to manage their colony by running around the, let's call it village of the colony, around the colony, around it. Gosh, I'm thinking like 30 things ahead of time, and I can't form a simple sentence because of that. So the player needs to manage their colony by running around it and interact with various task boards, interacting with the colonists by talking to them, etc. Every night there are monsters attacking the colony. So the colony needs to defend, to be able to defend itself at all times. Okay. Two Kingdoms? Was it the game? Two Kingdoms? Or Kingdom to Crowns, something like that. What was the name of that game? Kingdom to Crowns. Kingdom to Crowns. Is that it? Yes, that was it. That was the game. That was actually surprisingly fun. So, Kingdom to Crowns. Like in Kingdom to Crowns. Okay. Please reformat that game idea for me so that it looks nice and has some structure. Okay, I'll copy that for now, and this will be the prompt that I'm trying every time, because let's say I want the user to use it that way. Let me just figure out where to save it. Down here. Okay. So let's run it. Let's see what happens. It shouldn't submit anything yet. It just should say, okay, table, first person colony manager. Yeah. The game concept, gameplay mechanics. This will be more than one thing. Okay. So before we do that, I can actually modify my API actually, because we haven't called it yet. It's running in real time, so I would like to log whatever receive. I don't remember how to get the context, so ctx dot... What is ctx? Let's do console log, and let's do JSON stringify, okay, and we'll stringify the context. However that worked. We'll see if that works. If not, oh well. So I'll do that. I'll just save and preview. And bam, our API is already updated. It's already running the newest version, which is cool because you can actually change it up while testing your GPT in between different requests, which is helpful too. So then, would you like to submit this idea? If so, please provide the name you'd like to be referred to as the creator. Awesome, it asks for it. Oh, this is fun. So call me xconti, okay? Please submit. Enter. And this should call the action. There it goes. Starting action. Okay. Something tells me it will fail here. I recall that for some reason GPT was failing. Game idea wants to talk to video game. Okay. And it just gives the idea here, the whole idea, and author xconti. Confirm. Okay. Has been successfully submitted under the... If you have any more ideas or need further assistance, feel free to share. So what happened? Response received. Idea whatever, author nobody. I guess GPT was smart enough to figure out that that's not a game idea worthy giving back. But hey, we just got our response. The one that we just wrote in our code right here from our API that we just deployed by writing a code and clicking save. I don't know, it can be simpler without completely abandoning coding. So, hey, this is exciting. So we have that. So now what else would we need to do? The idea is that the user submits the game idea. We store it somewhere in some pool of, all the possible ideas, pick a random one, and give the random back, okay? So we need some way to store those, all those ideas. So when you think about it, you instantly, okay, I do it in memory, right? But in memory won't work because this code, the whole entirety of it, is executed from scratch every time we call the API. So there's no like remembering things between runs, okay? So that doesn't work. It's a little bit like lambdas and stuff. Whatever. So the other thing is, okay, do I need to deploy some SQL somewhere in some other service? No, you don't have to. You actually have SQL database already ready for you to use when you sign up for Val Town, which is awesome. But I don't want to deal with SQL. I want to deal with something simpler. I just want to have, a JavaScript array and just shove it and save it somewhere where I can recall it. So there is something like that. So when we scroll up in Val Town, we have docs. We can open it in a new tab, and here are the docs. I actually worked on those docs for a while. So what we can do is, let's see, standard library, blob, okay? Blob storage. ValTown comes with blob storage built in. It allows for storing any data, text, JSON, images, whatever. And you can access it via std/blob. So that's the package. So blob storage is scoped globally to your account. If you set a blob in one val, you can retrieve it by the same key in another val. Its backend is Cloudflare R2. So, so we can get JSON and set JSON. So let's start with getting a JSON, okay? Because we want to retrieve a list of our things. So we just import blob, okay, from here. So let's copy that code. Can I make it like side by side? I think I can here, right? Okay. So let's do it that way. So we're gonna import it. We'll just shove it here. And we want to do it here, right? We receive our endpoint. And let's actually do it in a little bit nicer fashion, okay? Let's just down here do like another little section. I'll just use those little sections like that because why not? Let's just close that. So we have, what's in our logs? Oh, submission. We got a submission, right? And is there our thing that we logged? We logged this whole thing. So, yep, we logged it. Cool. But going back here is, so let's do it managing, oh look, idea list management. Okay, this will be our section for management of the list, and let's make something like gosh, how the hell did you write, how do you write a function in here? I forgot. Function. Okay. And this will be basically get ideas. And what we want to do is return idea, and it will be a list of ideas, okay? So let's form the idea. Interface, right? Interface idea. And it will be basically idea string and author string. Okay, I don't think we need anything else, so we have the idea, right? This isn't happy because actually declared this. Oh, we need to return a list of ideas, right? So we can do it through here. We can just say let ideas is await blob, and blob is basically the thing that we imported. Get JSON, and it's just the key will be game ideas. Okay, well, let's just use that key. It will be game ideas. We'll actually make it here constant ideas key is game ideas, so we can reuse it, change it in the future, and we don't have to copy paste strings. It's safer. Okay, and this need to be async function and promise of the idea. So yeah, so basically get the JSON, but let me check if we can get a JSON that is actually already formatted as our thing, because you can click here and we'll take it, because the whole standard library here is actually another val. It's that simple. So get JSON, we have this. Okay, we don't have anything that converts it to the actual thing. So let's go back and let's do the magical JavaScript thing as idea, as a list of ideas, okay? Just as that. So if ideas is null, okay, if we didn't get anything, this double equals and null basically checks for null and undefined. Okay, so if it's null, we basically do ideas is, so we need to make it into, I don't know, let is nim language comes in and tricks me. Let allows for changing. So ideas will be basically an empty list, okay? Just in case. So that's that. And what? We got those ideas, so we just return ideas, okay? Just like that. I'll just add those semicolons at the end because I was doing the same thing somewhere else. So that will be the way we can get ideas. So while we're at it, let's do async function set ideas, okay? And we need to provide it basically ideas which is a set of ideas, okay? And I want to return anything. Return promise void. I guess that was the thing, right? I presume. I forgot a lot of JavaScript. You don't write it for a few months. I mean TypeScript. You don't write it for a few months and everything, and you lose so much. So here, when we want to set it, we can go to set.json. So we do await blob.setJSON. Our key will be the ideas key, and we just pass in the ideas, and that's it. That's how you save and write data that is persistent and shared between all the little code snippets that you write. Awesome. It's a little bit slow. It takes like, maybe 300, 400, maybe even 500 milliseconds to actually read or save data. But we're not expecting big volumes here, so who cares, okay? For big concurrency, then you would use the SQL here, and SQL is provided here by Turso, so perfect as SQL capabilities where you could do fancy stuff. Okay, so we've got our idea list management done. It's literally that simple. It's just freaking awesome. Okay. So basically, when we receive the request, we want to do let ideas is await get ideas. I should make it lowercase, right? Because this is JavaScript. Get ideas, set ideas. Okay. So I'll just call get ideas, and I should get a list of ideas just like that. Super simple. And we want to add this idea, right? So ideas.push, and we'll just push. We need to get the idea from the context. That's the one thing I don't remember. So can I? No, this is always this. Let's just do it that way. Or just straight up close it. How can I close it here? How do I use this browser? Here. There we go. So what I can do is go to here. Oh, look, code, comments, pull requests, forks, references, and dependencies. This is all new. I haven't seen that. This is awesome. Because yeah, you can also submit pull requests to vals that other people published, or fork them, or whatever, comment on them. You can like things. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna go home on a second tab, and I'm gonna go to GPTs, API framework, and maybe not the framework, back here. I just want to see an example of something that I wrote where I used the context. Maybe not this one, that's a bit complicated. Dialog chat GPT endpoint, there we go. Yeah, because I made, at some point, I made an endpoint. I made an action inside a GPT that allowed GPT to write a prompt to a OpenAI endpoint and basically prompt another GPT to get a response. So that was funny, but didn't work very well. Okay, so we have. Oh, I did manually. Memory API. Okay, this will be the one that uses it, right? Right, memory API management. We have set memories, all the stuff. Verify request, and we have app get memory. Can I edit it all manually? Seriously? Where did I use the thingy? What the bleep? And this is the policy, and that's it. Oh wow, I really Because I need to go into this overseer. We have response command schema. We have API, another schema, and then we have here context, and I'm just returning it. Here, context just return, context command DTO. What the heck? Issues, string. Oh, you just do DTO, and that will give it to me. And I guess so. Yeah, so all I need to do is DTO, and I'm gonna get the object. Because nowhere else it's being used properly. Nope. So let's go here. And let's do comma DTO. And what is DTO? It's our idea and author that we received. Okay, I guess I made it user-friendly. So ideas push DTO. Okay, there we go. Because it's already an idea and author. So that's good. And it's unhappy about it, right? So if DTO dot idea is null, or DTO dot author is null, return. Oh, I can't do that now. I guess I haven't thought about that request responses. I'll need to refine that framework then, just to allow for returning those responses. But let's just do that idea will be that request. No idea or author submitted. And the author will be server. Okay. There we go. So we basically can do let idea or like received idea is DTO as idea. Okay. So we have that. So we can just push it here and won't complain anymore because what? Oh, how did it replace multiple? Okay. There we go. Now it allows for pushing. So now that we pushed, actually before we add it to the list, we need to get a next idea, right? So we have the ideas. So this will be push add received idea to the idea pool. Okay. And we can just get some random idea. So let's ChatGPT duplicate. Okay. And let's just go to ChatGPT. How can I get a random element of an array in TypeScript? I have a list. I have an let's just give it some code, okay? TS. I'll have let ideas is this. We have ideas, right? And ideas load ideas, okay. And let random idea is and 3 question marks. Okay. I still have that enabled. What the heck? So we have random element from an array TypeScript, and we get ideas idea function. We'll get random element. Random index is this and that. So let's just get that We'll copy it. I'll assume it works because with JavaScript it usually works. So we go here. We'll just shove it somewhere down here where we don't care. Okay. And we can do let read idea to return is get random element of ideas. Okay. So that should be type idea. Cool. Great. So this will be basically that. And so the way this will work is basically whenever somebody submits an idea, they get some idea back, okay? And therefore our pool will be growing and growing and growing. If we have 100,000 people, if we have people submit 100,000 ideas, our list suddenly will be 100,000 items long. I don't want to store that. There are limits. You have 500 megabytes of storage available to you. I think it's a bit more on like 5 gigabytes or something if you're subscribed to Pro on Val Town. But I don't want to suddenly deal with a list of that many. Let's do something like in list management. Let's make a constant max ideas, and we'll define that we want to store at most 1,000 ideas, okay? At most. So basically, we know that we'll be adding the idea, right? So when we got the idea to return, okay, it would be nice to be able to decide, are we, like when we return the idea, should we delete it from the list before we add a new one? So I would like to do that in a situation where we already have 1,000 items, okay? If we have 1,000 items, we want to remove the one that we just responded with. This way there will be room for the new idea to be pushed to the list, and therefore our list will be just always 1,000 and each idea will be returned only once. So let's do it that way, so that if ideas length, I guess that's how you check it. Gosh, I'm rusty. Is larger or equal to max ideas, okay? We need to do ideas equals ideas.filter, where the idea is different than the idea to return, okay? So basically, we'll filter out the one that we just returned. I know this is not the most performant, but good enough. It's not a big deal. It's not a list of million elements, so it's gonna be fine. And then, so we'll just make limit item ideas to specific number, okay? And then we can add it. And after we added it, we want to basically await set ideas, and we'll just give it a list ideas, okay? Well, we just did that. And then what we return is idea is basically idea to return dot idea, and this here will be the, what the heck? So like this, paste, author. And that's it. That should be our whole thing. Okay. So we save it and we are able to return it. I think we have our GPT. That might work. So yeah. Here, preview. I mean, preview will just show it to us. So we have our GPT schema, right? So when we enter, we have the newest one because, I mean, I don't think we changed anything, but so no, we didn't change anything. So it doesn't matter. So we can get to our ChatGPT. It's already up to date because schema didn't change. Our API changed, so it will work better. So let's just edit the thing that it's supposed to do. So video has to be submitted using the actions. So then we'll be presenting idea returned in exchange for whatever, in exchange. After submitting a fun video game idea, let's just call it fun everywhere, okay? So submitting a fun video game idea, there will be another idea returned in exchange. Please present that idea to the user immediately, okay? No, we're gonna spin on it. Let's avoid that. Okay, so we have that will be returned, and that, so we can close it. We can update it. Okay, so we should be able to have the same thing that I had previously. Bam. And run it here. Okay. So we'll just, this time I call it calling frontiers. Okay. And please provide name you'd like to be known by in the submission. Call me X Conti and please submit. Oh, if the list is empty, we're gonna get nothing. Shoot. Let's fix our code before it crashes. Okay, so we have all that here. Idea to return, get random element. So I have an idea. So idea to return will be ideas the length larger than 0, okay? So if there's more than, if there's at least one element, get the random one, okay? If not, it will be idea will be the please come up with some cool idea for the user. There is nothing in the database yet. And as author, let's just do that. Idea will be this, and author will be system, whatever, server. API server. Okay. There we go. Okay. So by default, we'll have some kind of idea. And if, yeah, okay. So I just saved it, so it's already running. So I can just get back here and click please submit because our API was already updated, which is super quick. I love it. Game ID Exchange wants to talk, and we can preview what it's gonna send. It's gonna send all that, title, colony, and all that, and author. Confirm. So it sent it. Response, please come up with a cool idea for the user. So your game idea has been submitted successfully. Here's an interesting idea in exchange, and it comes out with an idea. There you go, Astral Nomads. Players explore and colonize distant planets in a dynamically generated universe. Each planet offers unique resources, challenges, and native species. Players must strategize resource management, base construction, and diplomacy with alien species to thrive. Survival elements. As players expand their interstellar footprint, they must adapt to various environmental threats and potential conflicts with other colonizers and native species. The game emphasizes survival through innovation and technology, and for forging alliances, or through conquest and resource domination. I hope you find this exchange idea inspiring. If you have more ideas or need further assistance, please free to share. Please submit the idea that you just showed me. You can sign it. You can consider yourself an author. Let's see what ChatGPT will put in as author if they consider themselves. Okay, start an action. It's writing it down somewhere in the background now. What it's gonna call itself? Author ChatGPT. Look at that. Confirm. And as a response, we should get an idea that we had previously. Okay. Oh, the game idea Astral Nomads has been submitted successfully as well. In return, we received the same Colony Frontiers idea you originally submitted, which indicates it's a unique and standout concept in the idea exchange. So awesome. So right now we should have 2 ideas in there already. So let's check that, okay? So there are a few ways to check it. Okay, because we have this, and I guess we were still logging this stuff, right? Logs. The last submission was received from Mozilla KHTML, like Gecko compatible ChatGPT user. Yep. Nothing in logs. I guess we got rid of that, and there's the response that we send it. So yeah, you have all the logs of things running here, which is nice as well. You can actually replay input to pretend you were ChatGPT and retest your API. Lots of stuff here. So there are a few ways to check your data. The way I like it is actually through something like VS Code. You can actually go to extensions and you can install an extension called, where is it? Val Town. Okay, this extension, POMDTR, is very active on Discord there, on ValTown Discord. The Drunken Alcoholic asks, do I have to be logged in to submit game idea? If not, send me the link and I'll submit something to see if it's working. I'll send you the link after we check that we for sure have those 2 items in the blob, and then I'll send you the link. And GPTs are available now for everyone, so you should be able to use it. So when I go to ValTown, it shows you different vals. Like Steve is the founder of ValTown, really good guy. Liked vals, home vals, references, and then you have all the blobs, okay? And there's ours. Game ideas. When I click on it, this is what's inside. So I should be able, you can actually just edit it here, because you can, whatever, edit something, save, and that's it. But I'm gonna open a new tab, mark it as JSON, and format it, and there we go. We have this idea and that idea. One of them came up, ChatGPT, one is me. So that's it. So don't save, and what's that? Split it. Oh, it's just a split. Okay. So let's get the link to the GPT. The browser. Let's go to that GPT, share it, and I have the link. Public actions require valid privacy policy URL. Oh, we need privacy policy before I can share it with you. So let's fix that quickly, okay? Let's go to Val Town. And I actually made something for that specific purpose. This is GPTs, and let me think. API framework, GPT schema builder, framework. Okay, so not here. Plan. Can I just... I can't... No, I can't make it smaller. So let me just zoom out a little bit while I'm searching. Overseer, GPT API. We have this thing. And am I using this thing here somewhere? Last policy update. Where's the policy? Memories API. Because I made a thing for generating policies somewhere. Okay, I did it here, I guess. Last policy update. And get policy from memory API policy. So that's the thing that I wrote, right? It's somewhere. I don't know where I'm storing it. Can I control click? Yes, there we go. I made memory API policy. Basically returns a simple privacy policy for the GPT memory API. You just need to feed it with name of your API, your contact email, and when it was last updated. And it will basically fill out this template that, you know, welcome to this API, privacy outline this, data collection and use, all the stuff that, you know, allows users to store, retrieve, list, and delete data. The data stored can be of any type. User, we do not restrict control content on all that stuff, okay? So we can go to our GPT. And what we would need to do here is add this, okay? And did I make a thing for that? I guess I haven't. Huh. Let me think, because we need to return that somehow. How did I do it in the other one? Because I used it somehow, right? We go to GPTs and plan graph, plan overseer AI. And I use GPT API, okay. All that, responses, blah, 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 blah. Oh, because that was private, I was create action overview, get execution. Oh, I didn't even care about adding the privacy policy. Does it need to be the same thing? Let's go to our GPT. And let's see. Actions. Scroll away. Okay, this is wonky. Privacy policy. It's required for all public GPTs. So let's just make a super quick one. I guess I can make a separate valve for that. So we have our tutorials thing. Let's go tutorial and let's create new HTTP handler. And on requests, it will basically let's import this get policy, and we'll just gonna do let policy is get policy. And what do we need to supply it with? 3 arguments. API name, which will be video game idea API. Okay. Contact email will be ban@sconti.tech. And the last updated will be what day is today? 2024 05/15. Okay. And we just return response dot, there's JSON name prototype. Can I just straight up return policy? Nope, it doesn't like it. It needs to be response. Response dot product redirect to string. What the heck? String. Okay, let's just do that and let's use our GPT again. And how can I return text in a response as a response in my API? This is the generic or the vanilla JavaScript response object. Okay. New response. There we go. So we just go back here. So we use ChatGPT to develop ChatGPT stuff. Love it. Okay. Status, headers, this and that. And response. This is body, right? So we want policy. Where did it come up with freaking test? Return test and response. Okay, so we just will be happy with that. Okay. Val Town. Let's call it video game API policy. Okay. And we should be able to just copy it here. And will GPT allow us to do it? Paste? I think it does. So update. Okay. Okay. Share. It's available on the store. It's gonna be what? Dolly, writing, productivity, research, education, lifestyle, other. Let's call it productivity, right? So it's that, and I should be able to share the link with it for it, right? Copy link. I'll paste it in both Twitch and the normal chat. Also add it here. Here's the GPT we wrote. Okay. Let's save it. Bam. So, the drunken alcoholic. If you're still watching, feel free to test it. I can possibly just go to the video game idea GPT and go to logs and see if there'll be some stuff coming in. It was 404 at some point. Because I know that has live update or something. I presume it has live update. So yeah, if there will be people who suddenly use it, and the list of ideas will be growing, and that's it. Sorry, in the meantime, I'm gonna edit it. And I'm going to make it so that two things has to be submitted using the submit idea action. Please, when submitting the idea, please format the game idea in a structured way, in a well-structured way. Submitting the idea, please format it. Submitting the idea that isn't well structured, please reformat it accordingly. Okay. Close it. Okay, update it. Really? You have to upgrade to ChatGPT Plus to use it? It shouldn't be. Again, GPT Store, share it. Why isn't it set to GPT Store? Let's go wonky. Because I recall that I believe yesterday it was opened up that one could use ChatGPT without any issues anymore, I presume. So as a test, when you create a new conversation, do you have the GPT 4o available? Because that's another thing that should be open up to everyone. Let's make sure that this is on a store. Video game exchange. Game idea exchange. It's here. So I wonder if you can just go to explore GPTs and put in something like video game exchange to find it. That's a bummer that they say they opened it up, but it doesn't really work, huh? That sucks. Unless some extra features are required to use it, but we'll go to, let's refresh so we explore game idea exchange. When I will edit it, country region thing. Oh, it might be the country region thing. That's true. You'll need to know because they know your location anyway. Ay. Dolly image generator and web browsing. We don't want web browsing. Dolly image generator. No, we're not submitting any generation. So I guess I can an additional setting. Yeah, all that is good. Huh. That's unfortunate that you can't use it. You're in Australia. Okay, that explains why you're watching in those weird times. Do we have any other viewers that maybe are using ChatGPT Plus or something? I don't even know where to post it. I don't... I'll try Twitter. I hate Twitter, but... just made a video game idea exchange GPT. You can use it to submit your game ideas, and in return you'll get ideas. I'll just show it here for now. And in return you'll get ideas submitted by others. A multiplayer GPT or chat GPT. And let's just paste it and custom GPT. There's no such thing, GPT. Nope. ChatGPT. I don't know anybody will read it, but I don't know. So the Drunken Alcoholic says, maybe if I start using ChatGPT more in the future, I will buy a subscription. Maybe, yeah. I've been subscribing to it for a long time, and actually for the stream separately, I got a separate account that I'm paying for, just so that, you know, I don't have it cluttered with anything. The other account I'm using, you know, sharing with my wife, so it'll be a lot of stuff about nutrition, so I don't want that on a stream. Okay, so let me just check if I had an idea how to expand it in the future. Okay, so I had an idea that, you know, we created this GPT, but what if we want to make it a little bit more fun? So what if instead of just returning the idea, we'll also return some additional instructions what to do, so that our GPT here, when we define it, it wouldn't need those instructions that, hey, after submitting this, return next exchange, present it to the user, whatever. What if we want to just straight up delete it? Okay, we'll delete that part, and what we can do is in our GPT here, we can modify things a little bit. So for our response schema, we're gonna add instructions, and it'll be the string describe. Let's say it instructions for the chat GPT to follow after receiving the response. Follow immediately after receiving the response. Okay, so we just gave it that description. So this description will be a different video idea returned. So anyone, and further instructions for the AI. Okay, we'll just put in 2 spots. That's what's gonna happen. And all we need to do is that when we return it, we just add the instructions. Okay, and the instructions will be, please present the returned idea to the user, period. Present it in a nicely structured way. Put expand let's in a nicer structured way. Make sure to expand upon the idea. Get carried away. Sure. Something like that, okay? So we have let's go nuts, okay? We'll tell ChatGPT to go nuts. We save it, and we already have our thing changed here, right? But ChatGPT doesn't know about it yet. We still need to go. We need to go to the GPT/schema because we just modified our schema. So we go there. We need to copy it again. Okay. And now we can go to our ChatGPT. Go to our action here, edit it, and just pasting over it won't work. You need to select it all, delete, wait a second, and paste. And now it reloaded the whole thing. So we can go back, update, and suddenly with our instructions, having them that way, we just updated the, the whole GPT. We removed the instructions from GPT about presenting the received idea. So we should be able to just straight up submit some other idea. I have an idea for a video game, or for a game where there are 2 teams. Each team comes with their own spaceship. The spaceship was designed and built by the team from small components. The goal of the game is so that both teams try to take over the ship of the opponent team. They need to defeat defenses and systems built by the other team. Defeat the other team and ships defense systems, and designed by the other team. Okay, let's just see that. Let's see how it's gonna do it. That sounds like a really engaging game concept. So to recap structure a bit more clearly, there we go. It tries to do it in a more structured way. Players are divided into teams, each responsible for designing and building their own spaceship from various components. The main objective is for the team to attempt to take over the opposing team's ship. Ship is the mega overcome not only the rival team, also unique defense systems that are specifically defined by the opponent. Perfect. Rewarded it perfectly. Would you like to submit this video game? And if so, under what name would you like to be referred to as the creator? Refer to me as XConti, and I'll add, please remember next time. Maybe we'll add it to memory. I don't know if GPTs can add stuff to memory. Please submit. Okay. Now it just starts the action. Cool. Let's see what's gonna send. It just that. Cool. Confirm. And we should get another thing as a response. And we should see the response. I hope. The game idea has been selected. Here's a detailed expansion on what could be envisioned from your concept. Oh. Shoot. It misinterpreted the whole thing. So we don't see the response? So look at that. So GPT followed the instructions, but misinterpreted it. It didn't return what the idea that we gave it as a response. So we should modify our prompt in here. And in this case, if we modify the response prompt here, what happens is that we basically, if we would change the GPT, right, if we would edit it and then go back to this existing conversation and continue, it would still use the old GPT prompt and settings, okay? You would need to start a new conversation to edit something. But because we're adding API, something outside of GPT, the GPT, he will still use it, so I can just go here, edit something, and continue conversation, and things will, you know, be updated. So, please present the game idea attached in the response. Okay? Present in a nicely structured way. Okay? So we save it. And that should be enough to give it a little bit more of a hint. Okay? So here's another idea. Let's think of some other game idea. A fighting game that resembles Mortal Kombat, but instead of throwing punches, there are two magicians or two sorcerers. Okay? Two sorcerers. By making various key combos, players can cast offensive and defensive spells. Each player can develop their character like in an RPG. Period. As the player's character moves up in the leaderboards, gosh, I can't spell boards. As the player's character moves up in the leaderboards, they get matched with more experienced opponents, something like leagues slash whatever tiers in games like LOL. What are games are there where you have different leagues? Overwatch? I really don't play multiplayer games, so I don't know. Bam. Structurize it for me. Okay, RPG elements, competitive structure, blah 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 blah. I'll actually throw in something extra into there. Looks great. Please add to the idea that players could use magic to also influence the environment. For example, and I'll give two examples. Freeze river flowing between the players and break it into shards. Those shards then can be thrusted towards the opponent. The other would be I don't know. Player could send a fireball over the whatever could explode cave ceiling over the other player to bury them alive. There we go. Oh, we fun game. Although I have no idea how one would do that with combos on a keyboard. You'll need a mouse for that and some advanced spell making features. Okay, let's call it this would be good. Shall I go ahead and submit enhanced version under name as County? Yes, please. So we'll see if it's gonna receive something back and if that thing will make sense. Because I think I can go to the previous execution, right? So this is asking for it, so we'll confirm it. It just wrote this whole thing, this whole gigantic idea. Confirm. So in the meantime, I can go to here to Val Town. And I can go to logs. And we have the submission here, where we return Colony Frontiers, and here there's a submission where we returned. What do we return here? Astral Nomads concept. Okay, so let's see if that did something. So let's go submit an order. If you have more ideas, happy aiming. Can you please show me the idea received? Exchange for mine? Huh? Come on. Certainly. It has the response, right? Huh. It just doesn't really follow the instruction. So that's not fun. So I guess our instruction is not the greatest. So the user needs to see the idea returned in exchange. Please present it. The idea attached to the response to the actions response. Okay. Present it. Present it in a nice structured way. Make sure to expand upon the returned idea. Go nuts. Okay. Save it. I don't know if that's gonna work. All we could do is go here, edit the GPT, and just make it a little more clear. Response returned by the submit idea. Let's just do it here. Response return contains the another game idea. Another game idea that is supposed to be presented to the user. Additionally, it contains instructions on how to present it. Whatever. Do that, update, and that'll be it, I presume. Okay. Cool. So view GPT, and we'll maybe fit in one more idea to see if we're gonna get something back, because I would like to get something back. Let me see if I have some other game ideas. I'm sure I have. This, we have that. Sure. Here's a game idea. I'll paste it here. I'll just do that, okay? A game where the player is tasked with preventing the Babel Tower from being finished. The game involves walking around, talking to NPCs, and exchanging information. Information will spread and twist throughout the game, population, etc. There is a big supernatural aspect to things, as there are many forces involved. Okay? Okay. Capture the correct players are tasked with preventing completion. Gameplay involves change information. Dynamic spread involves among the game perfectly worded. Game includes significant supernatural elements, various forces influencing the gameplay and story. Are you happy? Yes, I'm happy. Please submit it. Will it ask for a name? Ah, yes, it asks. Could you please? This is a nice thing about actions, because it knows that it needs to put something in the JSON. It will actually ask for it. It could be real name, nickname, or a pseudonym. Let's call it Xconti. And it starts the action. Confirm it. Wonder what it sent there. Player task. Okay. And your game idea has been successfully submitted. As part of the exchange, here's another game idea for you to consider. And it explains it and expands on it. So that's awesome. What do you think of this idea? Does it inspire any additional thoughts or modifications? Cool. Hey, this is fun for like brainstorming ideas. Like, hey, give me another idea or something. But the whole thing is that you need to submit an idea to get something in exchange, so there will be always more and more and more interesting ideas floating around somewhere in there. Huh, that's fun. And you know, this is going through ChatGPT, right? But there is nothing stopping you from using the same API that you just wrote to just make a simple interface somewhere or whatever. Why not, right? So that's that, and let's see in our blob storage. Gonna go here to the ideas. Double click it. Let's select everything, new file, reformat it, and look at that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ideas, okay? So this is growing. And now all those ideas will be returned at random. So yeah, I like it. Fun little thing. And I don't think I got even any views on Twitter. I wouldn't expect so. Oh yeah, 1 view. Oh well. Well, I don't really have followers on Twitter, so not much reach there. But okay, that's that. So I'm very happy with that. I think we got to the point where we have a fun little piece of code. Where is it? Here, right? We have a nice little piece of code that we can utilize. And yeah, hey, I'm happy with that. It's really simple. You know, it looks like a lot, but mostly because you have descriptions here, bunch more descriptions here, all just to make ChatGPT happy. This is mostly descriptions. All this is mostly descriptions and just linking stuff together, but it's not, you know, science. You just copy, paste, and modify a little bit. And here we just do our code, okay? And our code was make sure data isn't empty. Get the ideas, change them up, get the default one, save them, make sure there's no more than 1,000, and just return it. And that's it. And our management for keys is that simple as well. Most complicated part is the random element method. And yeah, and we serve it, and that's it. So I'd say this is a very simple thing. So I am going to use it for to make a little, let's actually make it public. There we go. Whoever wants can use it. I'll also copy link to it, okay? I'm gonna shove it in the chat here. And I'm also going to add it to the description of the stream on the on YouTube. So here's the file that of our action endpoint. Okay. Save. And that's it. That's how simple it is. So now I'll need to basically make a blog post about it. I have an idea that the blog post will basically show explain the idea for the GPT. And then basically I'll describe how we're gonna do it, introduce Val Town, what it's good for, like you can quickly build APIs, you have a helpful community, it's free because hey, there's a free tier for that. If you'll go to Val Town pricing, for free you get basically one run per minute. No, wall clock time run. Oh, your code execution can run for up to 1 minute, which has 5 milliseconds of CPU time. You can execute your stuff 10 times per minute. It's like for all the vals that you have. Also, in your val that you write, you can make other HTTP calls, and this is up to 10 per run. So you could make 100 HTTP calls per minute. Logs will be kept for 3 days. You have 10 megabytes of storage, so that's plenty enough for, probably, 100,000 ideas or something. Kilobytes, megabytes, maybe not, for a lot. This is still plenty, right? And you can schedule your files up to one every 15 minutes, and you can have 100 private files, unlimited public files. So you can basically use all their features, nearly all of them. I believe there are a few things reserved for Pro, and that is sending emails, because you can also send emails like to anybody through your code, which is awesome. I need to show that to you. And you have a bunch of other stuff, you can run longer. You can have 100 runs per minute, so you can make 100,000 requests per minute. Logs are kept longer. You have whole gigabytes of storage, and we can run files every minute for scheduled. So in the docs, let's make it a page. In the docs, custom domains are only for pro subscribers. You can attach your own domain and whatever. And the other thing is that you can send emails. If you're on ValTown Pro, you can email anyone, okay? With the other one, you can email yourself. But all it is, you import email, you await email, and what's the subject, what is the text, and this will be sent to you, right? But you can make 2 fields set to, to who you want to send it to, and whatever, reply to, from, you can add attachments, you know, like a PDF. You can actually use ValTown to generate a PDF and then send it or whatever to, yeah, you could basically make it so that every time somebody uses your GPT action, you basically send yourself email with all the stuff they send. Why not? You can do that. I actually wrote a funnel one. Let's get back. Where is it? Where did I have it? Utilities, projects. Where the hell did I put it? Notify. Okay. So I made a notify. There's a service notify. I don't know if anybody is familiar with it. That allows you to send push notifications to your phone and other places for free, actually. So it's pretty awesome. Like really good. You can add pictures, you can add actions so that, you know, when you press something it gets you a link, whatever. So I made basically a little library where you can use it. So I wait notify and to what server. If you skip it, it will go to the default free one. What user, what topic, or what message. You can add titles, some actions and tags, priorities. You can put top priorities. Your phone will be buzzing until you actually do something with it. And I made a little helper that, you know, it reads stuff from your config because you can configure variables, and there's a lot of things that you can actually do. So that's another thing. That's a vast community. You know, trending vals. What's trending recently? Static chess. Okay, import val in Chrome console. Oh, import a val script into the Chrome console. Say you're developing Chrome extension. Look at that. Awesome. Bookmark, a minimal bookmarking tool. Valshot generate val source code screenshot using source shots. Yep. Translator, press to talk and get a translation. What? Browser preview? Oh, there it is. English to Hungarian, whatever, push to talk. Huh. Won't work. For me, at least. Probably microphone screwed up. But yeah, you can do all those things. Awesome Val Town and curate a list of useful community vals. Somebody did that here. Did somebody add something of mine? Probably not. Nope, nothing of mine added. But you can submit a pull request, probably. Apps tooling, application SQLite, blob. Yeah, I need to submit my stuff here. That'll be fun. Okay, so that's it for Val Town, because I really like that platform. I'm always hyped about it, so I'm talking like I'm trying to sell it. But again, creator is awesome, and I believe... Yeah, I don't want to go sleep yet. Let's go to the blog, because last time I did something, it was actually ValTown Newsletter 15. That's the one I helped to write. What was introduced then? Custom domains were introduced. New better logs. That's actually a little code I wrote so that, you know, you can, as the thing is executing, you actually have live preview of the logs right there in your browser, which is awesome. Yeah, Vals got faster, and the first 4 ValTown runtimes. Okay, there's like a whole story about it, how it was done. Yeah, more stuff, improved feedback button, ValTown status page, TypeScript-driven auto-completion, code mirror, and code folding, bunch of other updates. So that's stuff I remember. What happened after that, okay? ValTown seed round. We raised $5.5 million in a round led by Asel. Dan Levine has been a spiritual co-founder of ValTown since before the first line of code. Okay. He led our $1.5 million pre-seed in August 2022 and is now joining our board. ValTown is a social website to a social website to social site. So weird, social website to write and deploy serverless functions, create websites, APIs, and crons. Website has a link. Let's see what website they say. Oh, they just lead to documentation. Okay. React, Vue, Solid. Oh no. All that you can just right there. And click deploy. So we've got all that. For example, you can scrape for when you see light swizzles are in stock. Light swizzles. To our latest blog post to Mastodon, send RSS items to PostHog, generate SVG badges or open graph images, build a face swapping app with Replicate. All that stuff. Yeah, we went through that overview. Our mission is to send user programming. Okay, so this is like a little update. And a little story on how this became. Okay. Nico's SQLite Explorer is a good example of our community at play. SQLite Explorer, okay? It's a handy admin view of your built-in SQLite database. Okay, so somebody used a Val that basically hosts this website that shows you all your tables in your SQL library inside your ValTown. So you can make tools for ValTown in ValTown. So that's cool. That's very cool. That's awesome. What the hell do I have in there? Will that show something for me? Install stable release. And it just exports that. Fork. I have my own version. Let's make it HTTP. Open a new tab. Product attacks, you'll need to get one from... Oh, no, I need to... I see. Where do I set it up? Let's go back, Back? No. Authentication. Log into your SQLite with password authentication with a ValTown API token as the password. Oh, I see. So... let me just get the token temporarily. I don't like the API token. Ugh. Where is it? Wow, everything changed so much. API tokens. Yep, I won't show it to you. Copy it. And therefore I can go here, paste it, sign in. And then I have it running, just like that, few clicks and... No. So we have cache content. Oh yeah, that's my cache content. Cool, because I actually made a little cache that adds items here temporarily. Yeah, so I can show that Val quickly. So let me get rid of this thing. If I'll go to home, utilities, I made cache. This is an example, I guess. So we have cache. Implementation of Redis-like cache, a key value store with expiring keys. Data is stored in ValTown's SQLite database and shared between all your vals. So you can basically have a val where you have, you know, things happening. And it needs to, let's say, save some things for 5 minutes or maybe 2 hours or something, or a few seconds. I think I have like every minute it clears it, right? So it's that, and it stores all those keys in the table and in your SQLite database. And you can get them throughout all your vals. So you can have, you know, 5 or 50 different little APIs, and they can all access the same cache if they want, or they can have all separate caches. And basically implementation of Redis like cache, and there's steps to set up. You just need to specify some cache table names and whatever. And the way you use it, you await, and you basically get set, where you provide key and value and time to live. So something like lucky number is 13, or I know product this that, and you give it JSON value and 5 minutes, okay? Or you can make set a value in the cache until a specific date and time. So you can specify that this thing will expire only at that point, okay? You can set expiration for a specific key, you can set the until thing, you can get the key, so you just await, get as a number, and there's a lucky number, and that's it. You can list all the keys with a specific prefix, so let's say you want to list everything starting with product this, it will give you the list. Yeah, you can get man as prefix and some kind of limit how many, and delete keys, all those fun things. So I need to add that specific one to those awesome vals, because this one is awesome. So yeah, these are the tools you can make. So you can make that little tool have, for your little APIs, you can have something like a cache that actually works, kind of like Redis, without actually deploying anything. Like nothing to deploy, which is super, super, super awesome. Yeah, a list of dependencies. So somebody made like a whole dependency graph, how things are depending each other. Oh, there's the team. So that's the founder, Steve. And okay, so that's that. That was the seed round. Code search is hard. Searching code at scale without employing ValTown's search functionality isn't very good. That's correct. Right now, it's built on Postgres I-like functionality, which just performs a substring search. Okay, so they're working improving it. Oh, that's Tom writing it. Okay, cool. Here are some notes from research. Mainstream search solutions are designed for natural language, not code. That's true. Big companies with code search needs have spent a lot of time and money building their custom solutions. They already have a lot of data, and okay. So this is like, you know, developer thingy, where you just explore various things. Cool. Another newsletter. So what happened here over the last 2 months? That's April 22nd. We're currently working ValTown runtime performance improvements. Okay. So there's a video on that. Cool. ValTown seed round. Yeah, we're about that. We welcome Max. Okay. And yep, they're looking for design engineer and generalist in Brooklyn. So if you live in Brooklyn, hey, apply. What's new in Val Town? Onboarding. We shipped a new onboarding page. Oh, for first Val, look at that. That's cool. I like that. OpenAI and the standard library. You can now code with the OpenAI API with zero setup via std/OpenAI. A small amount of free OpenAI usage is included in every ValTown account. That's awesome. For example, cron prompt, which converts English into cron syntax, is now powered by this Val. That's great news, right? You have some tokens included in your ValTown account. Every ValTown account, and that means also free accounts. So you could have cron prompt, you import the OpenAI, and what you do? Query is URL, request URL, search params. So you get new URL, whatever prompt. And OpenAI chat completions create messages, role system content. You are helpful as that converts the user's prompt into valid cron tab expression. Role user this assistant. Oh, a few examples of how to use it, right? And it will run on GPT-4, maximum tokens 30, and bam. Oh, I like that. It shows how, you know, that you can give it an idea of what the conversation was like, so that it always responds well. Cool. Coding completions. We built our AI code completion from the ground up on top of Codium. It's incredibly fast and accurate. We even send it to your Val's README and logs to have even more context to help you. You can turn it on and off in your editor settings. Hey, I want to try it out. Because if they replace the old system, that would be awesome. Settings. Where? Editor? Key bindings, okay. AI code suggestion. There we go, save changes. Cool. So I could create a new little script, right? Let's do HTTP handler, right? So I'll make it return a hello world text as a response. Okay. Not console, return new response hello world. There we go. Hey, that was fast in the browser like that, and already semicolon. And what we'll suggest out here? Nothing. Oh, interesting. Export function delete expired. What? Hey, that's fun. Delete this thing. Cool. And there's SQLite Explorer. I don't want it right now. Awesome. This platform is getting better and better. Like every 2 weeks, it's vastly different. Let's see. Coding completion. Replay previous inputs. Vals can now be triggered by replaying previous inputs to iterate faster in the code. Below is an example of an email handler val. I sent it an email, but forgot to log it to the console. I can add a console log and replay the previous email it received without resending that email. Okay? So we basically have this thing, right? It's an email type. So it takes an email, and we just said function that takes an email, and we did nothing. So we can basically add console.log, right? And then click the little replay button, and we'll take the last thing, so whatever I received from the email, and replay it, and hey, that's awesome. Power bar. ValTown now has the Control K power bar. You can create or find vals, navigate to pages, or take val-specific actions like fork or copy. Ooh. That's fun. So this is fun. Downtime. We take downtime extremely seriously. We had our longest downtime ever, about 100 minutes, due to render's outage. We talked with render about it. They're working hard to make sure it doesn't happen again. We are keeping eye on it, and we'll be looking into ways to make ValTown more resilient. Another update, you can edit HTTP vals preview URL. That's awesome. We're going to use that today. Click on line numbers to link lines. Ooh. So this thing, readme GPT, right? Where did it open? Did it open somewhere? Yeah. readme GPT, and has lines highlighted. So I can shift click. Yeah, to select like from here to here, and it's already copied to clipboard. Oh, that's awesome. New Emacs and VS Code bindings. We've got cleaner trending page. We lazy load log lines to make loading large logs more responsive. Images can be pasted straight into readmes and comments. That's awesome. Forking vals, now one click instead of two. Profile menu and setting page have been redesigned. New login page. You can format code without save. Okay. In the Control K menu, awesome. Val logs now show absolute time instead of relative time ago, which was confusing new users. Okay. We reorganized our homepage to display more use cases and move features to new features page. Send fewer val errors notification where we're actively working on a val. Okay, that's good. And add a run preview button on others users HTTP vals. Okay. Improve email handler argument types and popular packages now include the HTTPS ESM SH imports. Look at that. They're working on Val page redesign, more performance, the code search, and coming soon will be HTTP streaming. Oh, that will be awesome when HTTP streaming comes in. This will be a game changer because you'll be able to, you know, stream in and out things like images as you're working on them instead of, you know, you can make things that respond quickly. Let's say you're doing something that fetches data from ChatGPT, so that response streams to you, and you can stream it back, so that you know that the response is instant. Your Val doesn't need to wait for the whole thing to be received from OpenAI before starting to respond to the user, to the request. So that's awesome. Stop a running Val, that would be cool. Full screen Val editor, even cooler. LLM generated Vals, that would be cool too. And a dashboard. And bunch of community Vals. Cool. Added backend. App can be home cooked meal. Okay, is my plane a Boeing? That is cool. Flight number, you can put in flight number. I will tell you if that's a Boeing or not, so you know if you have to worry. Oh, markdown to e-reader, all those little tools. That's super cool. And Val Town to-do list. Cool. So that was number 16, redesigning Val pages. We're revamping the design to standalone Val pages. Something that we learned from our spend walking new folks through Val Town is that the individual Val page could be disoriented and hard to visually. So people are making Vals and we want them to shine. So we made pretty big redesign to the Val page. So on the left was old, on the right is new. Yeah, that looks much better. Awesome. Okay. And blob storage outage post-mortem. Oh, that would be interesting. Because apparently there was a blob storage that wasn't available for a while. I guess that's why I got a weird error one day. Okay. Next steps. Cool. Hey. I am very happy seeing the progress. And that was May 2nd, so maybe soon will be new newsletter. Cool. Alrighty, so that's it. I think I have enough stuff to get through the thing. Let me just double check if we got any. If somebody used the Val, but I don't think so. The chat GPT thing. So I can go here. To just double click it to re-download it. I don't think anything was added, right? Yep, nothing has been added. Oh well, maybe somebody one day will find a GPT and use it. I'll just leave it running out there. If somebody wants, they can have fun. And again, I'll be releasing video on that, so that will be another thing. And I'll be releasing a blog post also of all the instructions, where it's maybe a little bit easier to copy the code, or I mean, eventually you can just go to the Val and copy the whole Val and you have the whole thing running for yourself. You know, one button, fork, and you're done. So that's that. And the other thing is authentication, because one might want to authenticate the GPT, because your GPT, when you go to edit GPT, when configuring the action, you can add authentication. If it's an API key or something like OAuth or something like that, you can add that authentication, and maybe I'll include in the tutorial how to add an API key, so that you have a secret key that, you know, GPT uses to send the requests, and in ValTown you could easily verify that that is actually correct or something. Can I just quickly add it? Where did my ValTown go? Home, GPTs, and was it here on the bottom or something? Nope, that was in tutorials. Okay. So we had this thing, and we are receiving that CTX object, which could be any. Why is it any? What the hell am I returning there? GPT API framework. What the hell am I putting in there? What's the CTX? We have... Wait, what? This is the usage. We have constructor, schema, blah, blah, blah. Nothing to JSON. Let's do JSON to JSON. We have this. The handler is CTX. And DTO, which is tRequest. Okay. Handler. Register a handler for a verb. So it'll be CTX to any. This endpoint push. Verb, endpoint verb, blah, blah, blah. This app get. And the get returns handler interface. What the hell is a handler interface? Oh gosh, this is the CTX. What? Register handler. Okay. And we provide a handler. Right? We give it the handler. Where is the handler used? We pass the handler here. Okay. So where are we using register handler? First is endpoint, handle wrapper. Handle wrapper is here. CTX. Text CTX. Right? And data is await CTX request.json. Oh, we can get requests from that. Okay. ST request and whatnot. What is calling it? Register handler. We won't know, right? If only I knew what the CTX here is. Let's do something crazy. Let's copy it. Let's go to ChatGPT. And let's start a new conversation. I'm working on a Hono API. TypeScript framework. Web framework. Okay. So this will know that it's using Hono. I keep passing a CTX in my code below. What is the type of the CTX? Okay, well, let's give it the TS code. And let's see if we'll come up with anything, because I'd like to know. Is an instance of the context class from the Hono framework. This context class provides various methods. So let's see Hono-context. So I could do it here, right? So let's see if that actually works. Because if I can do that, modify it, and it wouldn't break anything, I will be very, very happy. Here it is. Hono, comma. I can import context. Okay. Oh, I'm getting excited. Handler, and this will be of type context. Okay. Okay. And here the context will be of type context. Here will be of type context. Save. Version 16, okay. Doesn't mean that when I get back here now to my thing here. Okay. Get API, and we have an updated version with the context yet. Not yet. Let's refresh the page. And let's review that again. Yes, this is updated with the context. So that means that I should get, things working. So let's see. Here CTX shows that it's a context of any something. But whatever, it's a context. Okay. So can I do something like, oops, ctx dot the body, we have environment error, header dot, how can I get a header? Okay, so let's ask ChatGPT. How can I get the authentication from a CTX instance or from a context instance? I need to get the API key from it. API key. How does it look when we try to configure it here? API key. API key is, we do either basic, bare, or custom. So we could do basic. Okay. So let's provide it, the chat with it. The authentication is set to basic. Okay. And let's actually do something funny. Let's do this here. Some key, blah, blah. I just put random stuff, and I'll print screen this little part, and I'll paste it into this here so it knows a little bit more what I'm talking about. Enter. Okay. So from our, Jesus, it does the whole thing. Stop. Let's provide it with a little bit shorter code because this is horrible. Here, let's do this. And let's just copy and paste it. Let's, can I, oh no, I can't edit it. Shoot. Because normally you can edit stuff. Let me ask the question again with more context. This is the code I'm working on. TypeScript, paste it. We're gonna just do all that and do ... Just, the slash to signify that we're doing something there. And then we'll just do // We just skip that and to do get auth key, to do check if auth key equals password 123. Okay. And that should be enough. And question. How can I do that? Send. Now I should have a little bit more context to work with. Okay, so we have all that stuff, right? Still insists on the whole thing. Oh dear God. Why is it so stupid at sometimes? Usage example. It shows whole usage example here. Okay, API key is this and that. Oh, because it inserted a... Hey, that's a good idea. It added the API key right in there. So I could, in theory, do that, right? API key. Here, JSON to JSON. Const API key is extract API key. Let's copy that. Why not? It actually did some extra work for us. So we have... we need to go to API framework. And that's the thing, you can just iterate over the code, which works like your library. And you don't need to link, you don't need to push any changes or whatever. You just click save and you can use it anywhere else. And you can see that this one here is... Does it show version? Oh, it doesn't show a version here, huh? But it should show which version that is somewhere, okay? Oh, probably here. It's version 16. You can actually lock your code to use a specific version out of all the versions. Right now, there's only 15 and 16. So we're JSON to JSON. Okay. Handle and valid data format, whatever. We'll get there. API key. And the same will do for nothing to JSON. Okay. We have the extract API key in both. Register handler, handler wrapper. Responses handler, CTX data, comma, API key. Okay. So our handler will need to do stuff. Response, context JSON response, it returns it. Okay, API key is string. What did chat recommend? Let me just do it like this, so that we have both side by side. It will be a little bit easier. So this is a usage example, and we had this thing here, right? We added API key here. We don't need to do anything else. Here we just have the API key is string or null, okay? So we can do the same thing here. And that's that. For the extract API key. Okay, we can copy it and we can just put it somewhere else, okay? We have this, we have the class API, and that's inside the class. I don't want that. I would just want to have... Oh, that is inside the class, okay. We have this, so let's do it at the end. I can do code folding here, right? And let's do private, extract API key, context, blah, blah. Authorization header is authorization. Turn null if it's not starting with basic. And credential. Buffer, what the bleep? Okay, well, we're gonna fix that. What from node buffer? Oh, look at that. Add import. There we go, fixed. I guess there's a more Dino version of it. So that's something that could be looked into probably. How to do it more like in Dino. So we've got that. And for the other one, doesn't do anything. So that's great. So where's the other one? Let's copy it, and that's great. But how can I add it to the? Well, is it JSON to JSON? I need to be able to verify authorization key there as well. Okay. Please focus on the following code only, because we don't want the whole thing to be everywhere printed out. It's annoying. Okay. Method, you need to extract the API, blah 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 blah. So data. Okay, we do the same thing here. No, that's JSON to JSON. Oh, I meant nothing to JSON. Silly me. Edit. Nothing to JSON. Paste it. Okay, we just divide a handle wrapper. Okay, so we'll need to add this here as well, right? The API key to here. That makes sense. All that stays the same. Handle wrapper has just API key in front of it. And we just add this to the handler. And API key doesn't exist here. JSON response, that is it. Cool. Okay. Good enough. And that should be it. User command hotkeys, serve API, start a Hono server. What the hell? Serve API. That is funny. What the hell is it gonna respond with? Like, oh, sorry, I can't. Implementation of the survey. Whatever, I don't want it. That is funny. Okay, so potentially our thing here already supports the what do you call it? Supports the API authentication. I just want to make sure that it knows that we're running on Dino. My code is running on Dino, not Node. The buffer and the extract API key isn't available in Dino. Now, knowing about Dino, please rewrite the extract API key function. Okay, let's shove it here and send it, and maybe we'll get something better. A to B. Oh yeah, that's true. A to B. I remember that. So we just change that. Okay. C for const, and we need proper indentation, and now it works. And API key. Assuming the API key is the password part. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. So hell is this supposed to work? I don't remember. We'll see. So that's that, and speaker shut off. So in theory, we could actually do it a little bit crazier, because we can do not only extract API key. Okay, make it return a tuple instead. It'll be string, comma string, or null, where the first one is the user and second one is the password / API key. Okay, because in basic auth we have both of those, right? But why am I doing that? We have API key, non-API, oh, basic, bearer, or custom. Could do better. Maybe bearer will be better, right? Okay, we'll change our mind. Because it made it so that we have those two. Ugh. Let's abort it, because this calls narrative changes. So we'll do this whole thing. This is that. Go up, up, up. Function compatible with Dino. There it is, this thing. Okay, my code is running Dino. No, the buffer isn't available in Dino. Please rewrite the extra so that not no. Okay. I want to use a bearer authentication method instead. The bearer will hold the API key. Please update the extract API key accordingly. Okay. The key. Not definition, the whatever. It's good enough. So we have this. And yeah. So give it that. Let's just take a screenshot from here again. API key here so that we have info that it's bearer. Okay. This will be less work for the user to actually use it. Oh shit, I can't add it there. Let's see what happens. Because there are two ways to do that authentication. One way would be to go through basic, where we receive the user name and the token, okay? And that would be beneficial because you can identify the specific GPT or whatever. And the other one was where you just get the API key, but you can match it just the API key if it works as well, right? So starts with bearer, return null, and this just that. Okay, this is a little bit easier. Okay, paste it here, save it, reformatted it, and that should be it, right? to improve the documentation for it. But that means that in here I'll be able to say the bear is hello 123. Save. Okay. Before I save it, I need to update my thingy here. So I refresh. And I should be able to, in here, basically do DTO and comma. Will it show me something? API key. API key will be string, okay? So let's do if API key is null. We'll just send a message that, you know, return bad request from the server, okay? And if API key is not equal to, what the hell was it supposed to be? Pass 1 to 3. We're gonna set it that. It'll be invalid API key submitted. There we go. Okay. That should be authentication already. So we save it. Okay. And let's test it if it works or not. So in ChatGPT, let's configure the API key will be pass 1 to 3. Okay. Save. Okay, we'll go back here and let's test it. I have game idea. Gosh, I need to come up with a game idea now. I have any interesting game ideas in the war. Much. Gosh, I have long descriptions of some game ideas. Okay, let's do this. Game idea. Rimworld-like, okay. But with a larger map, larger world, and fully procedurally generated materials. Procedurally generate research tree, etc. Okay. Let's submit it. Some triggering. It's like expanding the concept of Rimworld by incorporating a much larger. Okay. Sounds good. I'm discounting. Let's submit it and see what we get a response if it actually works with the new authentication token. Okay, it tries to do that. Parameters. Doesn't show the headers here, but I guess that's okay. Confirm. Received. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's submit it. Here's a fun game idea shared by an exchange that you might find intriguing. It should be aware that it's also my idea because it's the same author, but it's okay. So that's cool. Another thing will be to add that your own ideas don't show up here. So that's that. Okay. So that works. We have working authorization. Just like that. Update. So before going to sleep, I'm gonna do one more thing. Inside the code here, we're going to do it so that when it gets the idea to respond with, it will come up only with idea to, like, not your ideas, okay? Because we have the author here, right? So ideas is this, and idea to return is this. So let's do another. Let's do constant, and it will be available ideas, okay? And we're gonna do ideas dot filter, okay? Where I dot author is not the received idea author, okay? And therefore, here where we try to get the idea to return, we get this and get random element ideas. Okay. Oh, ideas. There we go. Okay, so what it means basically is filter out ideas that have the same author. This way, the user can only see idea that they can't see ideas that they submitted themselves. Okay? That makes sense. So GPT will just come up with something. Available ideas is this. I is not, yeah, if the author is not that. Okay, cool. And then we use here, we don't use ideas there. Cool. So yeah, should be it. Save and preview. Preview, yeah. So that's it. Now when I will submit another idea. That's awesome. Here's another one. And let's come up with the last game idea. A game where the player, the main character, is inside a video game that just crashed. The whole world is slowly falling apart. Yeah, the game crashed. The whole game takes place within a few milliseconds after the crash. Okay? Whole world is slowly falling apart, and the goal of the game is to traverse the computer and various games / software inspired locations to gather chunks of memory and save it to the hard drive. Okay, something like that. Oh, really going for it. Glitch aesthetics, eerie soundscapes, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Puzzles and challenges, exactly. Ah, maybe one day I'll finally make that game. Yes. And starting the action. We'll set it all in a short way. Huh. Confirm. Submitted, and back we get Astronoma. It's not our own thing. The only thing that was created by GPT so far. Cool. Awesome. So I can just quickly take a peek if what we submit first it's updated, right? So that it's fresh. And here I can open game ideas and make sure that we have already 47,000 characters. Wow. Yeah, we've got a bunch of ideas saved. Awesome. So that works, and our thingy goes here. The video game idea GPT works. We actually added a functionality for authorization, which makes me really happy. I guess another thing will be to add the endpoint, add a way to add an endpoint for the privacy policy, which just takes a string. And yeah, I'm gonna do that probably off camera, just to clean up the code and the other code. I need to write documentation and whatnot. Ugh. But hey, that should be fun. So looks like we have temporarily another viewer on YouTube. Hello. I don't know how the stream works, but you can probably see the previous messages, right? You have the link to the Val Town and then link to the GPT. If you have Chat GPT Pro, maybe you could test that endpoint. That would be fun. Because our previous viewer unfortunately didn't have access to it. So if someone is still watching, please let me know in the chat and let me know if we can test that GPT for us. I don't know what kind of delay there is from chat, but I guess we're not gonna get a response. Oh well. So if that's the case, I'll be finishing the stream, because it's... How long am I streaming already? I have no clue, actually. 3 hours and 12 minutes. That's pretty long for me. Okay, well, thank you for watching. As always, thank you for watching, and remember, you can like and subscribe on YouTube. You can comment if there, even after the video, the stream has finished. I'll be happy to answer questions or take suggestions or whatnot. And yeah, if you're watching on Twitch, you can also follow. I have streams at least 3 times a week: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday and Wednesday are 11 p.m. Eastern time, while Friday is 10 p.m. Eastern time. Maybe one day I'm gonna switch to very early morning, like 7 a.m. or something, but maybe one day. So yeah, thank you for watching, and